On this show, as you know, we discuss stories of political and human interests that affect us as Nigerians and as members of a global human community. Today we'll be discussing Nigeria Decides, the 2023 election, presidential election, and matters arising. And our guest today, it's really a great pleasure to have on this program the Director of Publicity of the All Progressives Congress, the party whose presidential candidate was declared winner of the presidential election held on February 25, 2023. And our guest is the Director of Publicity of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bala Yusuf Ibrahim. Mr. Yusuf Bala Ibrahim is a former BBC reporter, editor, and producer. He was born on the 2nd of February 1959 in Chiromawa, Kano. He attended Gaya Central Primary School, where he obtained his living certificate in 1972. He proceeded to GSTS Wudil, Kano, where he got his West African School certificate in 1978, before proceeding to Ahmadu Bello University Zaria's School of Basic Studies. Thereafter, he went to the Greenwich College, London, to study business management, graduating in 1983. In 2018, he went on to the London School of Commerce for his master's in business administration. Our guest started working as a teacher at GGC Dala from 1985 to 1988 before he joined BBC London African Service as his Kano reporter between 1988 and 1993. From 1994 to 1999, he was a producer at BBC Hausa Service in London before he returned to Nigeria as his Hausa Service correspondent in Lagos between 1999 and 2004. Then he became a producer at BBC Hausa Service in London between 2004 and 2005. He later became an editor for the BBC Africa and Middle East in Abuja between 2005 and 2006. From 2006, he was BBC Regional Coordinator till 2008. In 2010, he was appointed chairman of a body news magazine, National Review, a position he held till 2016 when he was appointed media advisor to Nigeria's Inspector General of Police between 2016 and 2019. Before his new appointment, he has been an advisor to the Deputy Senate President on special duties. Apart from training at the BBC Training School in London, he also attended some basic journalism training, BJ1, BJ2, and BJ3 in 1994, 1996, and 2005, respectively. Good afternoon. I welcome you to the program, and I guess, congratulations will be in order. Your party won, but the major complaint has been that in terms of turnout, this has been the lowest presidential election since return to democracy in 1999. About 25 million people voted. The APC candidate scored just less than 10% of voter number of votes cast. But the INEC has declared your candidate with the majority of the votes and with the required spread presidential candidate. So congratulations. But what's your reaction to the development, particularly now that some of the other leading parties in the election, People's Democratic Party, Labour Party, New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, are all saying they will go to court?
Well, as a party, as a political party that is bent on promoting democracy and the will of say, the freedom of expression, and the freedom to go to court in the event of dispute. We are very happy with this development that some people have chosen to go to court and not to use cutlasses. This is a sign that, yes, democracy is being entrenched and people want to get disagreements disagreement resolved through the process permitted by the law. We are very happy that they are willing to go to court, and let them go to court. And we hope the judiciary will come to the rescue by going through whatever evidence is provided and giving justice to whom justice is due. But we are very confident and comfortable as a political party that come what may, we are going to earn victory once more at the court. We have gotten victory at the polls. The polling stations have given us victory. We believe the court will affirm that victory and let Nigeria move forward. We are happy with this development.
Well, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party says that he's very sad. That's Waziri Atiku Abubakar. The candidate of the Labour Party said that he wept for Nigeria. But he says he's confident that the judiciary has never failed him, and he's confident that he will get justice at the, at the Supreme Court. And he says, although he was third in the polls, that indeed he won. And many people have been pointing to his victory in Lagos, which is even the main stronghold of your presidential candidate, as clear evidence that the Labour Party could upturn the result in the court of law. What do you say to that?
Well, when they say they are very unhappy, I don't blame them. They are being economic with the reason of their unhappiness. The real reason is that they were united and they chose to be divided, thinking that they will disprove that law that says a divided house cannot stand. Labour Party, NNPP are all offshoots or spill from the PDP. There is just no way you can divide yourself into three. When united, you didn't win, and expect to win divided or separately. That is against logic, it's against common sense, and against arithmetic, which I felt with honors. There is just no way that they will expect the court to give them victory if they are not able to prove their case. And I think it will be very difficult for them to prove their cases of any malpractice. I cannot see how in an election where the presidential candidate or the president-elect as he is now lost his constituency and you say it is free and fair there, where the party chairman lost his constituency and you say it is free and fair there, where the president, the sitting president, lost his constituency and you say it is free and fair there, where the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum lost his constituency and you say it is free and fair there, where most of the people that campaign for the candidate lost their places. The governor of Plateau State, who is the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council, lost his state and you say it is free and fair. But when the party won in Ekiti, a small state with a small voting population, you say, it's foul. When overall results came and you see that vehemently you lost with a margin of almost 2 million votes, you say it's rigged. So who rigged who? Is it the people who lost in their strongholds that rigged you, or you that won in their stronghold? I think they need to visit doctors and get a full and proper assessment of their mental health. This is my thinking.
Well, the performance of INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, has been a major issue in this election. The main story out there is that INEC violated its own guidelines. INEC violated the Electoral Act 2022, sections 48, 49, section 149, and all the relevant sections, and more importantly, clause 28 of INEC's own guidelines about BVAS, RF, the role of returning officers and polling officers on election day. Do you agree that INEC is guilty as charged, and this has been an imperfect election, a poorly conducted election? Some people say, in fact, the worst in terms of conduct since the return to civilian rule in 1999.
Well, while I am of the opinion that unless and until God comes to preside and conduct an election anywhere, the dream of having a perfect election will remain a dream and illusion. As long as elections will be conducted by human beings, there is going to be hue and cry with regards to the conduct of the election from the side of those who lost. This is the natural behavior of human beings. I'm not a lawyer, so I am not in a position to talk about the violation or acts that are contrary to the provisions of the law by INEC. I'm sure INEC, they will have their own way of defending themselves, and I hope this will be some of the evidences that will be presented in court when the aggrieved go to court. But from what I heard from INEC and other lawyers, they said there has not been any violation. But I don't want you to take that as an authoritative submission from me, because I'm a layman when it comes to legal matters. I don't know anything about that. I leave that to those who are conversant with the provision of the law. And I have confidence that INEC will not be in a position to brazenly go against the law, knowing fully that whatever actions they take will be challenged in court later.
Okay, but one thing you can agree with is that this is a disputed election. But in spite of that, your party has been very triumphant. In fact, the following day after the announcement of the result by INEC, INEC immediately gave your candidates, the president-elect and the vice president-elect, certificate of return. Before that day ended, the two leading candidates of your party were already in Daura to thank the president. The following day, Mrs. Tinubu and Mrs. Shetima, they were already in Aso Villa to go and visit Mrs. Aisha Buhari to look around and to say, we are coming. Before you know it, your candidate has moved into Defense House. He is already receiving visitors. Some people are saying, is your party trying to railroad everybody to say this is already a fait accompli? Even when people are going to court, Labour Party has already filed his case. Why not wait a bit and see how everything plays out before you just take over from Daura to Aso Villa to Defense House? Is that a strategy to just keep up the momentum and allow people who want to complain while you seize the space, take the space rather? That would be a better word to use.
Well, this is to tell you that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect, is a man that has not gotten the victory by fluke. He spent well over 20 years planning. This is a life ambition that is fulfilled. And to tell you that he's going to match words with action. To tell you that he's going to hit the ground running immediately he gets the mandate. There is no point playing dragging feet when you have made promises to the people that you are going to work with a timeline and laid out plans for performance. Now, from the day he was given that mandate, Asiwaju has hit the ground running in order to disabuse the minds of people who thought he is lame, he is weak, he is unhealthy, he is incapable, he is whatever. There is nothing they have not said to say that he is not going to be able to rule. Now with all this, in fact, now people are telling him, slow down, slow down, slow down. Which means he went.
Hello, are you with me?
put the people that have been vying or indicating.
Hello? Hello, Bala Ibrahim, are you there?
Me now?
I can hear you now, yes. Hello, please go ahead.
Which the president-elect is operating is an indication to the fact that he's going to match his words with action. He has made promises, and he
The line keeps cutting off. Can you hear me?
don't me now. I can hear you. Can you hear me,
Yes,
please?
please go ahead. You were talking about the president-elect space hitting the ground running.
The president-elect is hitting the ground running in order to disabuse the minds of those who said he's too weak to rule. He has no plans. He has no agenda. He is going to be a lame dog. Now he's running at a pace that is surprising everyone, including the critics. This is a sign that within a short period of time, Nigeria will begin to reap from the good ideas, the noble ideas the president-elect is bringing on board, and the country is going to change for good.
Well, Bala Ibrahim, if you can hear me, on March 11, we're going to have the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections. In Lagos, Labour Party says it is already collaborating with other political parties to consolidate on its victory on February 25. In Kano, the new Nigeria People's Party that won in Kano under the umbrella of the Kwankwasiya movement is saying that the picture on March 11 will be the same, and that the NNPP will take Kano. Kano is strategic, Lagos is strategic. The same kind of, movement, collaboration, permutations in other states of the Federation. What impact do you think that the victory of the APC at the center on February 25 is likely to have on the March 11 election? What pattern do you expect? Do you suspect?
From the pattern of voting and from the look of the direction of victory that came out, you can see that this is the most polished politics that has been played in the history of Nigerian elections. People have played or voted quite all right on the basis of certain sentiment which have to do with section and religion. You can see, looking at the volume of votes that came from sections of the country, some people voted for their own kinsman. Some people voted for the people with the same religious belief, while some people voted simply based on their conviction on the capacity and capability of the candidate. Now, I believe with the outcome of the presidential election, the gubernatorial and state parliamentary elections will come with a difference. People are now going to pay attention more to material merit, the individual merit, the merit of the people that are on the ballot. And I am convinced that they are not going to vote primarily on the basis of party. They will rather look at the personalities on the papers and vote to them according to their conviction of what they have to offer. So to say that where the APC, our party, lost, it is necessarily going to lose again may not be correct. You will see changes, I believe, because now it's going to be on the sentiment of capacity rather than the sentiment of section or religion. This is my belief.
Well, yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled in a related matter. The naira note scarcity, naira redesign, cash swap policy in the matter AG Kaduna and 16 others versus AG Federation and 2 others. And the Supreme Court ruled that the plaintiffs have a case that has merit. And they reached a number of conclusions, including the conclusion that the naira redesign policy was flawed, that the National Council of State was not carried along, and 3, the old naira notes should remain in circulation till December 31st, 2023. Well, some people have argued that the Supreme Court, in taking that decision, defended public policy. Some people say that this is a case of the witch cried last night and the baby died the following morning, and that what the Supreme Court is trying to do is to play safe, to align with the victory of the APC on February 25. What do you say to this?
I think those who have that thinking in their mind need fresh mental reset. First and foremost, even though I'm not a lawyer, but as a Democrat, I believe in the rule of law. And I belong to the class of people that have absolute confidence in the judiciary. I also belong to the class of people that believe in the competence of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Now, the Supreme Court had acted as expected, in the sense that a lot of people, including me, were distressed by that policy. The timing is wrong. The method of introducing the redesign is wrong. The arithmetic is wrong. Even me, who has failed mathematics with honors, I cannot see how you will withdraw 3 trillion naira from circulation and release a couple of billions and convince the country that you can be able to print 3 trillion naira in a few weeks. This is against logic. I have not read any country in the world, regardless of its competence in technology, that has done this kind of magic. So whatever advice was given to the president to convince him into this, I feel that advice was wrongly given, and that's why we are in this problem. As I talk to you, in the last 1 month, I have not been able to have access of 10,000 naira in the new denomination, in the new currency. And I have some money in the bank. I have not been able to transfer money as I want to do using the platform of internet banking. It is erratic, it is epileptic. In most cases, it's not even working. And I have lost a lot of money through this bank transfer, where after sending the money, it will tell me error. Later, I will be debited. Yet, the person on the other side will say he has not been credited. I don't know how the reconciliation is going to be done, but even this morning I was telling my daughter that I have lost a lot of money. I don't know who is going to pay me. So this entire system was brought deliberately to disenfranchise the country, and that is why we had a low turnout, I believe. The twin evils of fuel shortage and this currency redesign honestly have contributed in making a lot of people not come out, and also they have contributed in putting so many people, including myself, in distress. So the Supreme Court came to the rescue. What it did is victory for democracy, victory for Nigeria, victory to the people, and I hope we will respect the decision of the Supreme Court. I hope the outgoing president will respect the decision of the Supreme Court. Our party is behind the decision of the Supreme Court. Our governors are behind the decision of the Supreme Court. And I believe our president, who is also a believer in democracy and the rule of law, will also act in accordance with the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Okay, well, Bala Ibrahim, Director of Publicity, All Progressives Congress, APC, winner of the presidential election of February 25. We're going to take a short break, but before we do so, I need to clarify a number of things. When you were going to say you have money in the bank, you hesitated. You said, then you say, I have some money. No, you tell us you have billions in the banks. It's not a sin. It's not a sin to be a billionaire. Just tell us you have billions. And then you said, you failed mathematics with honors. Nobody fails with honors. It's either you have F9 and it's F9. There is nothing honorable.
I have F10. I have F10.
There is no F10.
I have F. Okay. Now that tells you how good I am in maths.
You fail. There is nothing honorable about failure. And finally, you said the banks have been taking your money. You don't know how to get it back. Well, I am told that if your money enters the default mode, if you go to the bank, it may take a few days. You'll get your money returned to you. But your experience is the same as that of many other people. We'll take this short break. When we return, we'll throw the lines open and our listeners and others can engage with our guests and also make their own contributions. We'll be right back. Yusuf, Ibrahim. Remember, if you want to be part of this conversation, you can call us on 0700-1051-1051 and on WhatsApp 0909901644033. No, I take that again. 09099164403. And on our social media accounts at City1051 on Zoom, Instagram, and Facebook. Bala Ibrahim, thank you very much for staying with us. We're back now, and shortly we're going to be taking comments from people, and I would like to also ask you one or two questions while we interact with people. But one question is that the youths of Nigeria, the youth bulge, that population between the 18 to 39 bracket constituted more than 50-70% of the voting population. We saw that youth bulge going in the direction of Labour Party. What is the president-elect planning to do to win the trust, the confidence of that youth population, whose intervention in this election was most decisive?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Reuben. And thank God, in his acceptance speech, the president-elect sees that and he acknowledged the contribution of the youth. And he specifically mentioned that he is going to carry them along. He has a plan that will put their interest in whatever he's going to do. As a matter of fact, within a very short period of time, I've been told, something is coming out that will give the youth of this country the confidence to believe in what is going to be done by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The youth are not going to be ignored. They are not going to be left behind. There is just no way anybody that really is interested in transforming this country will ignore the contribution of the youth, because in any case, they are going to be the ones that will take over eventually. So the leadership today is just the custodian for the youth. At the end of the day, the mantle is going to be handed over to them. And you wait and see, you will see that this government is going to give the youth a lot of relevance. It is also good to know that the youth leader of our party is from Lagos, which is the reservoir or where you have the highest concentration of active youth. He's from Lagos, and is a product of the Asiwaju administration when he was the governor of Lagos State. He's going to work hand in hand with the youth. He's going to work hand in hand with this man that is the youth leader in order to have the youth given a semblance or a real sense of belonging to the regime of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is my belief.
Well, I think we have a caller on the line. We'll try to take calls now, and if you want to be part of this conversation, the numbers are out there. But first, we have this gentleman from Birmingham. His name is Tony from Birmingham, Alabama. He said, "Good afternoon, Dr. ABATI. Sorry, I'm just waking up to join you, so I failed to get the name of your guest. But having listened to him, I can tell that he's an APC stalwart. Please permit me to tell him that their victory will be short-lived because what took place last week Saturday was a complete blunder by INEC and will not stand in the court of law at all. And I'm urging Nigerians and especially the youth not to be demoralized by what INEC did last Saturday, but they should troop out en masse to complete what they started last Saturday to take back our country from the gold diggers masquerading themselves as leaders of the country. And then he says, can he please tell Nigerians why the APC feels that the currency swap affected their party more than the other political parties? Thank you for taking my messages. Remember that it's only 5:38 a.m. in my time zone. Okay, that's Tony from Birmingham, Alabama in the United States. What do you say to him?
Well, I thank Tony for that, for advancing that dream that our victory will be short-lived. I'm happy he said he's calling from Alabama, not from heaven. So he has no any idea of what God has done. Our victory is going to stand for 4 years as per the mandate given by the people. And because he's in the comfort zone of Alabama, he didn't know what Nigeria went through in electing our party. Nigerians came out and voted based on conviction that our party manifesto is going to bring a renewed hope. And this renewed hope is what is expected and is what is going to be delivered. I just want him to know that Asuaju is making plans to reach out to everybody, including those that are dreaming in faraway countries of the world, to come and contribute. They don't necessarily have to come home, but from where you are, we are going to change the narrative and change the mindset by the time we hit the ground running with programs that will appease and appeal to you, even in the comfort zone of Alabama, because the intention is to turn Nigeria into a dreamland so that people will not migrate to other countries. And even those that have already migrated for whatever reason, they will see enough reasons for them to come back and contribute their own quota to the development of Nigeria. So, Mr. Tony, I am happy to disagree with you that it's a victory that is going to stand the full test of time, and it's a victory that is going to be of benefit to Nigeria and Nigerians.
Okay, we seem to have a caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Your name and your intervention. Please make it brief.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Chaja. I'm calling from Satellite Town. Hello.
Please go ahead. You are calling from Satellite Town, Lagos. Hello. Okay, we seem to have lost that connection. We have another caller on the line. Please go ahead.
Hello, Dr. ABATI. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's my advice? Hello, are you with me?
I'm with you. Please go ahead.
You see, the point is the what helped Labour Party to win Lagos in the last election was he latched onto the to play the anti-centric and religious politics. If you remember, Doctor, Peter Obi was jumping from one church to the other, telling the church, take up your country. Nigeria is not made for the Christians alone. There are Muslim and Christians and ATR practitioners, traditional religious, and everywhere. Even when he was governor in the East, he was playing the Catholic Church against the Pentecostals. So what worked for him was a lot of Pentecostal pastors were against Governor Tinubu for his Muslim ticket. So that's one. Two, and you may recall that Peter Obi kept jumping from one market to the Ladipo to Mushi, just whipping up ego sentiment. And again, even the candidate they are sponsoring, his name is Chinedu. The fact that he's pushing up Igbo agenda, and they were the ones that were behind the answers crisis. They want to burn down Lagos. So that's the issue. Tinubu has made Lagos the sixth largest economy in Africa and the live wire of the economy of Nigeria. So that's nobody can run away from that. And Tinubu is not on the ticket come next Saturday. So Tinubu has been doing a great job in Lagos. So that's Tinubu. Thank you.
Okay. Bala Ibrahim, I'm sure you heard him. He seems to be a friend of APC, accusing the candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, of running on the platform of ethnicity and religion. Well, to express a personal opinion, it wasn't only Igbos that voted for Peter Obi in Lagos. And it is wrong to think that the vote in Lagos on February 25 was an Igbo vote. Mr. Peter Obi, got his support across ethnic divide. In fact, for your own party, that people thought that the Muslim ticket would be an issue. Well, you can beat your chest and say it's not an issue. But I see Mr. Unche Nwora's hand up on Zoom. If we can have Unche Nwora intervene via Zoom. His hand has been up for a few minutes, and then our guests can take some of these interventions together. Mr. Unche Nwora, please, if you could just go ahead with your intervention. Hello, engineers. Can we have Mr. Unche Nwora on the program? I also see Wale Oluwade's hand up. If you can't get...
Hello?
Yes, who is that? Is that Mr. Nwora or Wale Oluwade?
It's me, Dr. Abati. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you, Alhaji Bala. I've heard you clearly. But I don't want to go into issues of voter suppression or INEC, not doing what they ought to do. I'll just say, well, we have had a lot of promises from politicians. And in this case, in this present dispensation, we have President Muhammadu Buhari, who is about completing his tenure. A lot of promises were made, and Nigerians know that most of these promises were not kept. The naira redesign is a problem, brought onto Nigerians by APC. Now, Asiwaju has come on board. He's promising renewed hope. That means our hopes were dashed by APC. And now we are promised renewed hope. My question is, for how long are we going to be hoping? And I heard you, Bala, Alhaji Bala. You said Nigeria is a dreamland. I guess we've dreamt enough. We've been told over and over we have potentials. And we know it's true. Nigerians go outside Nigeria and they make waves.
Hello, are you still there, Mr. Nwora?
Away from Nigeria. The world is... I'm here, I'm talking.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that, look, we've been promised hope. And now we're being promised renewed hope. And I heard Alhaji Bala talk about Nigeria being a dreamland. We've dreamt enough. We have potential. We've dreamt enough. Our people are doing very well outside Nigeria in all spheres of human endeavor. In Nigeria here, there are too many potentials. If we open up these potentials, Nigeria will be a great nation. But we have politicians who are only thinking of naira in their bank account, not even what the ordinary people will get. Our youths are tired. And the politicians are shameless. They don't even care at all. That's why we have the problem. America does visa lottery. They like diversity. We have diversity here. We're not harvesting it. We talk tribe, we talk religion. This election has come, gone. We're heading for 11th March election. I heard somebody from APC talking about will be benefiting from tribal. That's garbage. We should be talking things that make sense. let's harness our diversity. So my question is, for how long do we have to wait to actualize our dream? This is my question to Alhaji Bala. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nwora. Let's take one more intervention before we go back to our guests. If we could have Wale Oluwade on the line. Wale Oluwade, please.
Thank you, Dr. Abati. Good afternoon, Alhaji Bala.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I listened to you, and I sense, what you're trying to do, at least you're not gloating like some of the other party men and women have been doing in the last few days. My first intervention is the INEC declaration of Asiwaju as winner will seem to suggest that what Nigerians generally have gone through in the last 8 years of APC government, is okay, that Nigerians are happy. As of the last count, 100,000 or more people have died in different crises, headsmen, banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, name it. We have about 3 million Nigerians in various IDP camps, youth unemployment, the poverty, multidimensional poverty, 133 million Nigerians, inflation 21.83, debt of 77 trillion and more. So, I could go on and on. So, what this INEC declaration will suggest is that Nigerians are happy. So, they decide to give APC, an encore. Secondly, 94 million Nigerians registered according to INEC data, 87 million collected PVCs. But guess what? Only about 24 million Nigerians participated at the presidential elections and national elections last week. But that's not what is shocking to me. What is shocking is that just about 8.7 million Nigerians actually voted in the president-elect as declared by INEC. So, in essence, you have, in a country of about 219 million, so only 8.7 million people elected the president. Is that representative of the wishes of the majority of Nigerians? And then finally, just to save time, I've been a student of history, geopolitics globally. Are we Nigerians, are we genuinely matured for democracy? Are we matured for democracy? Because democracy is contingent on a sufficient quantity of honorable, decent, honest people running state institutions, INEC, the police, the security services, and all whatnot. If you have people who can blatantly break the law to attain predetermined outcomes. In America in 2020, Donald Trump was calling the state SSG of Georgia to say, find me 10,000 votes of the same party, Republican Party. The guy told Donald Trump, I'm sorry, you've lost this election. I can't find you any votes. We've done recount thrice. You lost. Here, they are not just finding votes to declare a winner. They are finding the votes in millions. So are we really matured for this democracy? Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Wale Oluwade there. Let's go back to our guest, Bala Ibrahim, to respond to the last three speakers who have tried to make their feelings and observations known. We're back to you. Bala Ibrahim, Director of Publicity of Progressive Congress Party, APC. Hello, Bala Ibrahim. Are you still with us? Hello? Hello, Bala Ibrahim. Are you there? Well, I can see him on the screen on my laptop via Zoom. Are you still with us? Okay, while we're still waiting, we'll take...
Hello?
Hello, are you there? Hello? Bala Ibrahim, can you hear me? Hello? It doesn't look like you can hear me from the studio here. I see that his system is muted. Please, can you unmute your system? Can you hear me? Okay, while we're waiting for him to join us, we'll take this caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello, thank you very much for joining us. Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Dr. Abati.
Yes.
From Congo.
Yes.
I said,
one of the regulars.
Welcome to Alhaji Bala Ibrahim. I want to say that I listened to the...
Hello, Alhaji Ibrahim. Just hold on.
Hello, doctor.
Hold on. It's good to have you back, but we have a caller on the line. Maybe we take this caller.
I listened to the president-elect when he was telling the National Assembly members that many people did not vote for him. So how did he manage that to win this election? That is number one. Then number two, I want to ask Alhaji Bala Mohammed, can he say if he is going to give him an oath to swear whether actually that the APC, which is his APC party, whether they actually won this election? That is number two. Number three, I want you to tell him whether this 8 years that Buhari ruled this nation, whether he has done, because whether he has actually fulfilled all the promises from change to next level, whether he has actually fulfilled the promises. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, Bala Ibrahim, we've had so far now 4 interventions. I'd just like you to respond to some of those interventions, from the person talking about ethnicity and religion to the other people, Nchemwora, Wale Oluwade, and now AB from Songo.
Okay, thank you very much, and apologies for my disconnection. I didn't get some part of the questions, but from what I gathered, I will pick them even if randomly. One, with regards to ethnicity and the injection of religious sentiment in the campaign, we are very much against it. We want to run an issue-based administration. We want a policy that will de-emphasize religion and section. I hope that will work, and that will go in helping to solve the problem.
Okay. Well, that was not the only issue. Someone asked the question. Now, do you think that
Nigeria?
Yeah, whether Nigerians are ready for democracy?
I said Nigeria being a dreamland. What I said is that we have Nigerians with a lot of dreams. Much as these dreams are there, we hope we will be able to actualize them as much as possible. You have to dream before you construct an idea. Fine. But I am going to talk more on the person that was talking about renewed hope, as if it's something completely new. No, the verb renew, which Dr. REUBEN will know better than me, is the same thing as refresh, is the same thing as recommence, is the same thing as restart, is the same thing as revive. It is not new thing you are bringing, but rather you are emphasizing on what is being done or what was done. The verb renewed hope is a catch, as Suwaju put in his campaign, to tell the public or the electorate that he is going to continue from where Muhammadu Buhari and the APC under him have stopped. It is the same APC that is carrying along the policy or is the vehicle that will implement the policies of the administration. So renew is actually renewal of the tenancy in Villa Asorok for the APC to continue in power. It is going to be business that is going to take Nigerians out of the woods and promote. We are not gloating about what we have done. We would rather want Nigerians to watch our words and mark the level of performance. At the end of 4 years, if we perform below expectations, Nigerians should not hesitate to vote out our own party. And that is why, on the subject of the other person who is talking about whether or not the country is ready for democracy, I want him to have more hope. We are not asking for a referendum where Nigerians will say we are ready or we are not ready for democracy. But democracy is actually work in progress. Nigerians are increasingly becoming aware of the dividend of democracy. And in fact, the very reason why they gave Asuwaju mandate is because of his performance in Lagos as a governor. If he's going to replicate what he had done in Lagos, believe you me, Nigeria will be the dreamland, if I may use the word again, the dreamland. And come a very short period of time, we will start rubbing shoulders with other big countries of the world. So I believe Nigeria is ready for democracy. I believe the renewed hope is in place, is actually apt in the campaign, and I believe ethnicity, tribalism, religious sentiments will be put aside so that our elections will be encouraged through competitive competition, not sentimental competition.
Okay, we'll take 2 more interventions. I see someone also has his hand up on Zoom. Are Oladotun Hassan. If we could have the intervention by Are Oladotun Hassan. Are Hassan, are you there? Are Oladotun Hassan? Okay, I guess she's waiting to hear from you, but if you are not there, do we have another caller on the line? Hello? Hello? Okay, while we're waiting. Hello?
Good afternoon to you, Dr. REUBEN.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, sir. My name is Prince Wyatt, calling you from Amuwadofin.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You see, this election, number one, we have no turnout. And the cause of that no turnout, I will trace into a Emefiele policy. Because that policy, it affects the elections seriously. Some people get annoyed that West African folks, no money from bank. You go to ATM, no money. You go to the no money. Money to feed is very, 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 very hard to come by. So some people stay at home. That is what called the low turnout, number one. And again, the election itself. From my own angle, I think this election is fair enough. Why am I saying this? The winner of this election scored 25% in about 29 or 30 states. And if your opposition can win from the president-elect, I think that is fair enough. I want to commend the effort of P2B. And now they are going to court. Going to court now is part of a democracy, which has said it so much. But the bottom in it is this. They are now associated with the PDP. And I foresee the hand of God in this election, my doctor. Reason number one. If people will not leave APC to the PDP today, if we don't send ticket with Atiku, they will win the election. That's number one. Number two, why I see the hand of God is this. Why should Atiku allow only one person that is not control a state to do away with 5 governors? That is the undoing of Atiku. So for me, if anybody can go to court, they are very free to go to court. But what really happened, it is Atiku and UB that is not playing the game accordingly. If they have worked together before, they could have won the election. Good afternoon to you, my doctor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. We'll take one more intervention. I've been expecting Are Oladotun Hassan, but I also see Barrister Anatu's hand up. So quickly, let's take Are Oladotun Hassan, President Yoruba Council Worldwide, member National Patriots, who would like to intervene. Briefly, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. ABATI. It's a pleasure to be on your program. Well, it's to firstly congratulate the president-elect that for the successful election and all Nigerians. But most importantly, there are a lot of lessons to be learned. Lessons on how best we need to reunite ourselves as citizens of this country. This election is another litmus test of our divisive tendencies as citizens, and it was really brought to the fore. And no one can claim to be more holier than the Pope. We all must take responsibility to unite ourselves as citizens. So to me, the INEC has tried, at least, to ensure that there was an even, equitable level playing ground for all candidates. I mean for all candidates, because it really reflected in the votes and how the vote pattern was decided. So for those that are querying the fact that it's 8 million that voted for Ashiwaju, that is democracy for you. We need to learn to accept our fate. It is not all about winning. We must also have this sportsmanship quality. We know we don't have a perfect democracy. If you have to talk about electoral malpractices, it's visibly seen across the country. Every sections of this country voted along different lines. But in the Southwest, I could say, yes, there were a lot of EU politics within the Southwest. Some voted for their interest in the Ekiti. In Osun State, they voted against Ashiwaju due to one or two political intricacies in Osun. We need to understand the body chemistry and reasoning of our people. So whatever that is, all we need now is to get focused on the new administration. There is no need for us to make the new government ungovernable, except whatever the court decide at the level of tribunal. But to many, I don't really see more issues to discuss at the tribunal, even if it will be the transmission of results. INEC gave reasons why the results were never transmitted, and that is what the law talks about, necessity. That was a reason for the immediate transmission, and all the results were now being transmitted, and it is not that there was no result transmission, but there were fragments of transmission. But due to the cyber attack on the INEC portal, they needed to be well guided, because if anything had happened via cyber attack by the hackers, what we are saying now will be another issue entirely.
Okay,
so for the fact that the manual transmission from the RAC to the local government to the state and to the national, everything followed due process, and it was succinct and visibly to all agents of the parties. So therefore, whatever we need to learn is for us to take this as a lesson and advance our democracy. And I hope during the administration of the new incoming administration, there is a need to review our electoral laws that will be more suitable to give all Nigerians, those that are in diaspora, ought to be voting to by now. We need to create mechanism that will allow over 200 million Nigerians to vote, not just you who are just for power. We need all Nigerians to have confidence, patriotism, and that is the duty of the new administration. And one cardinal area the administration must work on is to heal. It's more of healing period rather than more of personal aggrandizement.
Okay, Hassan, I get your point.
Out the only branch of peace with other candidates to work with it. Okay. They can form a government of national unity. It is not all about power.
I get your point.
If we have to go all the horde of power, we might not achieve peace. But I want, as an advice, that let all parties begin to see Nigeria first, and that is a good ground for us to start.
Okay, I know we all have very strong views about this January 25th election and the entire electoral process, but we're going to begin to round up now. Given the time frame for this program. But earlier on, I saw Anatu Musawa's hand up on Zoom. If we could have Barrister Anatu Musawa just to make our own intervention. I know she's also a spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress, and she must have been listening to our colleague Bala Ibrahim, the Director of Publicity of the party. Anatu Musawa, please. Hello? Hello? Is she still there? Hello? Hello? Okay. In case we have lost connection with Anatu Musawa, I would like to invite you, Bala Yusuf Ibrahim, to just make certain statements, concluding statements, by way of summary, as we begin to close the program. Back to you. Hello, can you hear me? Bala Yusuf Ibrahim? Hello? Hello, just calling on our guest to make his, closing remarks, if he would like to. Okay.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay, please, as briefly as possible. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here, and thanks very much to all those that contributed. I just hope, like the last speaker said, let us put Nigeria first. We still have another round of elections in front of us, which is coming up next week. Nigerians should vote on the basis of merit. Nigerians should vote on the basis of credibility. Let us look at the programs of the people that are put forward by the parties for the elective positions. Let us not vote on sentiment, religion, or what have you. Let us vote for the unity of our country. And I hope if we have good team of governors to work with the president-elect, Nigeria will move out of the woods. And that is where we want to see the country. I thank everybody who participated or is listening to this program. We hope we have to have a better Nigeria tomorrow.
Well, thank you very much also, Bala Yusuf Ibrahim. Thank you very much for taking time out to join us on City Talks with Reuben ABATI. And I also like to thank all those who called in and those who reached out to us on Zoom and Facebook. Remember, the conversation does not end here. You can reach out to me on my social media account at ABATI1990 on Instagram. You can also reach out to us on at City1051 on all social media platforms. And for those of you who tuned in late, there is no need to worry. You can visit YouTube page City1051 to watch the entire show. And when you do so, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave comments. And don't forget to tune in again next week at 12 noon for another exciting edition of City Talks. My name is Reuben ABATI. The show was produced by Charles Flames, Oluwaseun Adetitun, Ayodamola Oludara, Oluwatobi Loba Samson, and Abiodun Odunton. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much for listening.